Wow, what a great job by our group finding a way. Thought our defense was outstanding. Thought special teams made the plays that they had to make. And then offensively, I did not do a very good job for our group tonight, but I thought our guys were able to overcome it. I thought we were able to be at our best in the most important moments, be able to string together some drives. But, you give them credit. I thought, Coach Allen and those guys did a good job. The weather was a factor just for both teams in terms of just being able to throw and catch. You guys could see that. But the way that game went into overtime, I just love this resilience and the resolve of this group where, man, we start off, you feel like you're getting a little bit of momentum. I make a terrible 3rd down and 1 call. No excuse for that. Should have used the timeout. They did a good job of having a good call on there, and then we got to punt it out. And I thought our defense, they just made them snap it one more time. It looked like they were getting themselves close to field goal range, and what a freaking play by Cam Curl. I thought our defense came up time in and time out tonight. And then offensively to be able to make those plays, to be able to get back into field goal range, I thought was big. I thought Matthew did a great job of finding Colby early in that drive to be able to get up the sidelines for the first down. Devontae makes an unbelievable catch on the sideline. And then I thought the 3rd and 6 conversion that Nakua had, we took the timeout, didn't like the look. Matthew finds him, and he's so strong. And then we were able to get a few more yards, and then Mevis punches it in. And so hell of a deal right there. But a lot that we can learn from. I'm just really proud of this football team and the resolve. It's served us well. I think we've needed that in each of the last 2 games, and we'll have to be better if we expect to be able to, come away with the result we want against a special football team next week. But we're excited to get a chance back at Lumen.
It's been a crazy journey for you guys with field goals this season. So what's it like to think about this game coming down to that, and how did it feel to see it go through?
I felt really confident, Nate. Obviously since Mevis has been in there, and really, you talk about Jake and Ethan, I think that whole operation has been really good. We obviously only had the one miss that was at at Seattle the last time we played him on that Thursday night, but a lot of confidence in him. And it was nice too, because it was like, all right, the football gods are smiling on us. The weather had calmed down. There wasn't a lot of wind right there. And so I said, after that 4th down conversion, can you guys believe they made that play right there? That was unbelievable to, man, I'm up here by myself, huh? You guys aren't even participating at all. But I was really happy for him, Nate, and I was very confident that he would make that.
How tough was it when Caleb makes that crazy play to send it to overtime?
Yeah, you know what? It was tough, but I thought what was great is hey, we can't do anything about it. Go on to the next play. Here we are in overtime. What happened then is done with. And we always talk about being in the moment, being totally and completely present, and I thought our guys did a great job of that. And I was really kicking myself because I felt like when we possessed the ball first, and I had mentioned it, I thought that possession was going to really cost us, and there's no excuse for that. I have to be better for our group. I will be better for our group. But, man, I just can't say enough about the defense, what they did, and then for Cam Curl to be able to make that play. What a freaking catch. And then offensively for those guys to do what they did, to be able to go get in field goal position. And, and we had some chances. I thought we were going to be able to get a walk-off there with Colby or Ferg, but, it didn't work out. And then Mevis ended up making it true. And here we are, and excited to be able to get a chance to work again.
What did you tell Matthew before the pass to Nakua? During the timeout?
Yeah, we were really talking about what play we liked, because I had taken the timeout. They had shown, some similar structures defensively, and we had some success with that particular concept, and he did a great job being able to execute it. So just telling him what my thoughts were. I changed the play call from what the previous one was and just kind of explaining the thought process, and he did a great job bringing it to life.
What did you think about the day that Cam Curl and Kobe Durant had?
I thought they were awesome. Kobe makes a bunch of plays earlier in the game. Wish we would have capitalized on the one pick that he did make. We ended up going 3 and out right there. That was, not good complimentary football. And again, I'm really excited because I can dive into this and I can be better for us. And we'll have to be against a phenomenal defense next week. But guys just kept battling. They kept believing. And that's what it's about. There's no style points. It's about being able to survive and advance. And we were able to do that in a tough, hostile environment. And it was cold as shit today.
Sean, when you left the field in Seattle last time, did you have a feeling you guys would meet again?
We were hopeful. I once those guys won, I was hoping that we'd get a chance to be able to go back and, thought this would be a scenario that could possibly set itself up, and here we are.
You guys played the Super Bowl. You guys built the team a certain way. To be able to get back here, doing it an entirely different way,
I don't know, what have you learned, I guess, about the
that it's all about people, and I love this team. I love the makeup of this group, top to bottom. We've got some veteran guys on offense. We're relatively young on defense. I think we've done a good job of being able to acquire a bunch of different, using the different avenues that you can use to be able to acquire players, but it's about the people. I think we're getting better. I can't say enough about how much I love working for Mr. Kroenke, how much I love leading alongside Les, Kevin, and Tony, and really our coaching staff, and being able to identify guys that bring this stuff to life and that have that character, the competency, and just the overall competitiveness and competitive stamina that was needed tonight. So happy for them. We got another step next week, though, and I know we're excited to be able to advance, but we're not satisfied. And these guys have high standards, and we got to be at our best. You watched that game last night. They're firing on all cylinders. They look really good, and I'm excited to be able to dive into this tape and figure out how we can improve.
You guys rebuilt this team to potentially be on the road in the elements, to run the ball, be physical, impose your will. Is there anything to take from tonight going so pass heavy in the elements against a really good DBs group?
Yeah, you know what? I think what I kind of mentioned it. I could have done a much better job. And then I did think once we were able to get some success, we settled into a little bit of a different approach, being able to lean on the run. And then when we were throwing it, picking up the tempo a little bit. And I thought Matthew had a bunch of success keeping the ball in play. And guys made their plays. And so I think overall what I would say, Jordan, is I did not like the feel for the flow of the game that I had outside of the first, series where our guys did a great job. Defensively, it kept us in it in spite of how, poor of a job I did for our group. But like I said, I'm really grateful for this group being able to find a way, stick with it, and be able to overcome some bad coaching by me tonight.
So you had a game a month ago where you go to Seattle, you're up by 16 points, it gets away, it's a game that I'm sure gnaws at you. Now you have this opportunity to go back up there, you earn your way back. What does it mean to you? What does it mean to the team to get to go back up there and try to right that ball?
Yeah, it means that we've got an opportunity to be totally present, have a great week of preparation, learn from the things that we've learned from the previous couple times we've played them, see what they're about over this last month since we've seen them, and let's go swing and let's be at our best. Let's find a way in those 3.5-hour windows to have every single day leading up to that moment, give ourselves a chance to, to go do what we're capable of and play better collectively. I thought we played really well in certain phases. And you guys, you've heard me say it tonight. I'll be better for us. We'll be better, but grateful for the opportunity for sure.
Your reaction when Matthew makes that throw to Devontae across the field when Devontae barely toe drags to bring it in?
Unbelievable. I was waiting to see if it was confirmed or not, because then we were trying to jump the ball and they stand over it, and I'm getting a lot of mixed signals on whether it was in or not. So I'm not sure if I got a 2nd and 10 or a 1st and 10 call, and felt like an eternity until they told me the damn thing was a catch. But it was a great play by Devontae.
Sean, that quarterback just hasn't turned the ball over a lot this year. It felt like you guys just didn't want to let Caleb beat you.
Yeah.
How impressed are you with the defensive performance?
I'm so impressed. They carried the way tonight. And they had a great week of prep. Thought they had a great look in their eye. Caleb made his plays. We knew how dangerous he was, tactically, schematically and personnel-wise. They put a lot of pressure on you, and he certainly made some great plays with his legs. But what I was so impressed with in these elements are guys to be able to catch the ball. I mean, that's a great interception Cam Curl made. The Kobe makes his plays, and so I was really pleased, Stacy, with the job that our defense did. They deserve. I mean, it's a game ball-worthy performance for the whole group, and it's why we're advancing to the NFC Championship.
Last one.
Oh, sorry.
How much does the experience you have, whether it's Matthew, Devontae, Puka, that these guys have been here, when you're in elements like this and when you're in a scenario
I think it's big. I thought we were at our best in the most important moments. And I think whether you're talking about the weather or just big games, you could feel those guys shine the brightest at the most important moments. And I thought that's what Matthew did when he had to. There's some things that, both he and I know we'll both be better next week, or we've got to be able to be better if we expect to advance. But I thought those guys that you mentioned, and then the players that I've highlighted defensively, I thought, our front did a great job of being able to apply pressure. And then Caleb made some of his plays, but I couldn't be more impressed with just the overall group effort from our defense, and then those guys you mentioned in the crunch time moments. Okay? Thank you, guys.
Matthew, what was it like just being on the sidelines watching Harrison line up there at the end of overtime?
Shoot, I was confident. He's done it every time we've asked him. He's stepped up and made kicks. He does it in practice all the time. He's consistent. He's a gamer. So I just knew his blood pressure would be low. He'd be ready to rock and roll, and just a great operation, great snap, good hold. Those were not easy conditions to do any of that kind of stuff in, and then obviously a great kick there to win it for us.
What was your blood pressure like in overtime?
Pretty steady. Obviously that first drive, wish I would have done something there on that third down to, get us into a better one. That first drive we had in overtime, obviously our defense, unbelievable play by Cam Curl getting the pick. Our defense played outstanding all night, and then knew we had the opportunity to go down, drive down, and give us a chance to get in range or score a touchdown, and we were able to do it.
What did Coach McVay tell you during the timeout? He told us he changed the play.
Yeah.
Before Puka's.
Yeah, we flipped it. Had a different play in there. He asked me if I liked the one that we ended up running. I said, hell yeah, I love that one, and it was a great call, great feel by him to kind of bang a timeout on the first one. Didn't have a great look to what we wanted to do, just great feel by him on the sideline, getting that done and giving me a good play. And then obviously Puka did a nice job after the catch.
Did you have any feel? I mean, I know you said your finger was fine and everything. Conditions were kind of crazy, but did you ever feel like you had a good feel?
No, I definitely, didn't get into a great rhythm today. There's no question about that. Had some opportunities in the pass game. Just some things that made it tough. Obviously, I can be better. But playoff football is about winning the football game. Played great through for a bunch of yards last year in the snow, and we lost. So that shit sucks. So I'm happy to have played a little bit worse today and going home with a win. So we'll take that.
And we talked about
a week ago, you ripped their hearts out, so to speak.
Yeah.
When Cam Curl got the interception.
Yep.
Were you in a similar mindset?
Yeah, absolutely. I looked right at Sean. He looked at me and was like, and I'm like, here we go. And that's what it's all about. What an unbelievable job by, again, like I said, by our defense today, getting us the ball over and over again, whether it be fourth down stops or turnovers. They were clutch and timely, and that's what it takes to win in the playoffs. Sometimes offense is going to go out and have a great day and find a way to win it. Sometimes defense is going to go out there and have a day like they did today and keep us in it for as long as they did, and then make the play at the end to get us the ball back. So it's a team effort. We got a resilient group. Love being a part of it. Obviously, things we can do better. But we found a way to win the football game, and in January and February, that's what matters.
We talked about when you did something like that, Caleb Williams' fourth down throw, touchdown to send you guys into overtime happens. What is it about you and the team and kind of pulling back the emotional rope a little bit and getting the last word?
I mean, to be honest with you, that's what football's all about. Whether you have a great play the play before or a bad play, or I thought that was a great play by our defense, just a better play by Caleb and was it Komet that caught it? Yeah. Just a better play by those two guys, and that happens in football. Is it a huge moment and a tough thing at the moment? But you move on. There's more football to play. We got to go out there and make sure that we do the right things after that, and we were able to as a team.
We talked about the cold all week, but did you know how much snow you guys were going to get and that it would stick?
No, I wasn't, paying too much attention to, what the actual weather was or what it was going to be. Once we got out there, it was snowed pretty consistently the entire game. It felt like, I don't know, you guys probably know better than me, but it wasn't the easiest conditions, to throw and catch the football, but we found a way.
What did you say in the huddle on that last drive, before that last drive, in overtime?
Yeah, same thing I always say, man, let's just go get some points. At that point, that's all that mattered. Can we get 3? Can we get 7? Didn't matter. Let's go get some points. We were able to get that done and come away with the win.
What was the process of trying to adjust to some of those DB blitzes that they were bringing?
Yeah, there were some things we can do better, and I can communicate a little bit better, I think, to help make sure that we're, in the right spot and our guys are going to the right spot. But, I got to give Dennis Allen some credit. Did a nice job, mixing it up on us. Was able to kind of sniff some of them out late, even on some run plays and be able to get us closed up edgewise, which was great and kept us moving. But, they did a nice job mixing it up on us. Tough environment to communicate in, but I obviously can do a better job of making sure that we all know where we need to go and execute that stuff.
They're a very young team.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
They're a very young team, first-year head coach. You guys have obviously been here, you and Sean together. How much does that help you, especially late in the game or overtime?
I don't know. They've been pretty good late in games. They're a tough out. There's no question about that. I thought, Ben's done a hell of a job this year. Obviously, Caleb's played great, and did again tonight, in some timely moments late in the game. So they're a tough out. They're a really good football team. Obviously, in this in this position, in this game, the number 2 seed in our conference for a reason, and being able to go on the road and get it done was huge.
Matthew, forgive me if you were asked this before walking in. I walked in, but that throw to Devontae on the opposite sideline and him making the catch. Can you take us through like some of maybe the micro moments of that? Like when do you feel him open and
Yeah, the play before, Hook ended up coming out for that play. So Sean did a nice job of getting us to a great call. Got Devontae, involved on a deep out route, and Mayshawn Wright sat all over it. Tay ran a great route, but I mean, he was playing aggressive in the moment, playing the conditions, playing all of it, and Tay did a great job of running out of that break. I tried to put it to a spot that I thought was a good one. He's as long as it gets at corner, so I knew it was going to have to be outside. And so I put it into a spot that gave us a chance. And what a hell of a catch. I mean, to be able to catch it, get both feet down. From my vantage point, like real time, I was like, there's no way, And then you watch the screen, and holy cow, we got him down and had control. So incredible play by Devontae. Definitely wish I could have gotten him a little bit more involved on some ones early, but man, when we needed him in some clutch moments, he was huge tonight.
What's your thoughts on going
to the next game being the NFC Championship against a team that you know so well, they know you so well?
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge challenge. It's a huge challenge to go play in Seattle. We've done it once this year, and what a hell of a game that was. And they got such great players on their team. They're really well coached. They're coming off an unbelievable game, yesterday, so they got a ton of momentum. But I'm sure excited to be in this opportunity, be in this situation, to go see what we're all about. Can we go into their place, probably arguably the toughest place to play in the league, a team that's played really good football all year, and find a way to win it, and continue this journey, because that's what it's about at this point in the year. Can we find a way to work together for another week, and we have the opportunity now, and it's exciting. Thanks.